And definitely in this video I'm going to be drawing to the Inktober prompt clock. So in this video I'm going to be drawing this mushroom clock thing, so through time the mushroom grows onto the clock and mould, moss, a mossy tail. As you can see, I was just redrawing the same circle, trying to figure out the sizing, the composition of the ratio of the clock to the page with the ratio of the other parts. Started off with the pencil drawing, so difficult trying to make the perfect circle. You could never have a perfect circle. It's always slightly slanted unless you're using I would like to say mould. It's not a mould, a stencil, a circle stencil, or drawing around an already circle item. It's funny how most objects in life is just a variation of a circle or a square. For example, pillows or squares, but it's a rectangle, stretched out square. A circle. Mushroom's cap is technically a semicircle, a curved semicircle rounded shape with the stem is a square shape with it squished in the center to make that stem with the little curves. So ironically I was trying to draw the Satan's bolete mushroom, which is a real mushroom with a whitish brownish cap, and then the stem is red. What was I going to say? Well, I could have gone through the route of doing it 6 o'clock, but I thought that's too on the nose, and I thought maybe just incorporate the death number 4, what means die in Chinese. So I just thought 4, since it's a poisonous mushroom. Upon research, this mushroom causes hours of vomiting, and if it rarely for healthy people it causes death. I'm guessing if you eat a lot of it, or if you're sick to begin with, it can cause death. Even the gills are red, so the caps either appear brownish white, or it could appear a greyish white. But probably from the soil, it does look like a light brownish white. The cap size apparently can grow up to 7 to 30 centimeters, and it turns blue. The mushroom turns blue when it's bruised. It's commonly grown with the roots, plant. The mushroom's just a fruit. The fruits of the plant, the roots. Okay, I'm going to stop talking about that now. It grows between June and September. I can't remember if I already said that. So it's in warmer climates. That can be found on oak in North America, beechwood in Europe, and hardwood in the northern hemisphere. So many poisonous mushrooms. There's so many mushrooms that's edible that has looks really identical to the poisonous mushrooms, and upon research there's a lot of poisonous mushrooms that lives and grows alongside edible mushrooms. So it just shows that you need to be very careful. Don't just go about picking out mushrooms if you see them on the floor thinking it's edible. Best to be with an expert when you're picking out the mushrooms, walking around with an expert that actually knows their stuff, because one false identification and you can just hours of vomiting, diarrhea, and then death. If untreated, many of them cause kidney and liver damage, which then causes death. Turns out there's a lot of mushrooms, there's no antidote. They just, in the hospital, they just make you ingest this. So it looks very deadly from the red colour. But surprisingly, not all mushrooms that are red are poisonous, which I might go on to another video, but this is definitely a poisonous mushroom. So try to add in the little reds. Probably should have used a biro pen, to be honest, for the detail of the stem. We went with the red felt tips, trying to blend in the yellows, orange and reds to make the tones. I wish I actually added more yellow, gave more space to add the yellow in the gills. Turns out once it's a baby mushroom, it's or fungi, whatever, it's round, and then once it ages it flattens. That's most mushrooms are like that. It flattens when it ages, but it appears a dome-like ball shaped cap. For now, half our lives were just asleep. Then a good portion of it were just on the toilet or eating, then we're working or going to school or education, from college, sixth form, university. About first 20 years of your life you're just in education. First 20, 21, 22 years in education, depending how long you get into education, but at least taking away about 5 years you're not in any education, or you could be in nursery, then you go to school, then you have, in this country, I think it's 11 years compulsory education, unless college counts, then that's 13 years of compulsory education. College years count as a compulsory term, I can't remember, I think it's either 16 or 18 years. Age 16 to 18 is compulsory. And then you go to university, which is another 3 years, and then that's 14, 15, 16 years of education, unless your course is 4 years long or you do a master's, so that's another year. So that is, let me see, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 years of education is if it's a 3-year university course. And then 17, oh wow, I'll be in education for 17 years. So 17 for masters. Then some people do doctorates, that's even a long time. And you just seem to think, oh, well, where's the time gone while you're trying to do a certain task? And then it's already night time. You wake up and then it's already night time and you haven't done anything. This is literally the only thing I've done today. Just drew this drawing and narrated a video. And this drawing only took about 30 minutes to draw, and I was just watching random other things in the background. But there's actually just about 30 minutes of actual drawing footage. The rest was just stopping and watching and looking at memes. So many memes. The memes make the time go really fast. That's not, I sound like an idiot saying that. The time goes really, how do I say it? The time goes without realizing. Just looking at memes all day, then drawing a clock with mushrooms, and then memes again, drawing the outline, looking at memes, outlining it with biro, looking at memes, outlining with marker pens, then looking at more memes, looking at what colours to use, then looking at memes before I start drawing. Then I inked some of the mushrooms, and looked at memes. Then I've inked some of the moss and the tail, then looked at more memes. Put some biro pen on the tail, on the mushroom, then looked at memes. Transferred the footage, and looked at the photo, and then realised I missed out toning the mushrooms and the clock. So I put some pencil onto the mushrooms and inside the clock. Then looking at memes while the files transfer again for another batch. Then I looked at more memes after having it render out the first batch of footage just to have it all together. And then do the narration. Continue doing the narration. I'm just staring at a clock while I'm doing the narration. I probably should just be looking at the drawing and seeing what actually to narrate from. And you may tell the voiceover is going to be cut up and then reordered then compared to where it was actually said. No, actually spoken. So in order of the spoken words, well, that sentence does not make sense. this narration is just cut up, reordered into the different parts that's going to be played into the video. Placing all the narration and footage of the drawing into Premiere, then realizing the narration isn't long enough compared to the 15-minute thing. So then re-record the narration. Well, technically I'm recording a video which you won't be able to see the footage while narrating, because the footage of the what's it called, the drawing will override it with just the narration overlaid. When you speed up the traditional drawings, then the sound becomes distorted, and you end up having to re-record a separate thing to place in to make it sound less off-putting, because it's a really fast, high-pitch noise when you speed up traditional drawings and you hear the sound. And then sometimes when you speed up too much, you can't hear the sounds at all. It just sounds like scattering noises. Just trying to blend it in, add some tones with add some highlight with the biro pen, the black biro pen, going over some of the lines, outlining it with markers. Went back on the markers from the soil with different colours, because I just realised it's not going well, so since it's already a coloured piece, might as well go stick to colour, adding browns and yellows and oranges onto the different sections of soil. On one of the caps of the mushrooms I did do with biro pen, but then realised it didn't work, so for the other cap I used a pencil to try and add the tones in, which is not going so well, because you can see the two differences, one biro and one pencil. I probably should have stuck to biro after doing one in biro, but that's the nature of experimentation with art. And then probably could have added more tones and shadows, but this is it for now. Don't want to overwork it with traditional, because it's just one false stroke or line and then it can look off with this. I have just got used to calling it 2018, and now it's going to be 2019 soon. It's only 2 months and a bit left, and then it's 2019, and it's in a whole year again. Then the cycle continues. You just age and die, slowly dying. Your cells are dying and you age. People get born, then they die. They get born, then die. Feed it into the nature. Little mushrooms growing from the soils. Actually, they root themselves onto most plants or trees. Lots of dead wood. Mushrooms grow in dead wood normally, or that they could be from the ground. Mainly, from research, there's a lot just from dead wood. Lots of them just grow from dead wood. In this video, the colours are more vibrant compared to the other video, so I used these, testing out these markers. Second attempt at using these new markers. I will be uploading the first attempt at some stage. Kind of missed the mark on the day for that prompt, so I'm going to be reshuffling that to another day. The ironic thing is, from research I actually saw there's one mushroom growing from a hemlock tree called a hemlock, the common or the nickname of it is called hemlock shelf or something along those lines, and I always thought hemlock was poisonous, the tree, but turns out there's 2 different types of hemlock trees: poisonous hemlock trees and hemlock trees. And apparently that hemlock shelf has medicinal properties. So when the mushrooms aren't killing you, they have medicinal properties to them. Lots of them somehow, they're doing research on the mushrooms, something about cancer. Apparently some of them can slow down the rate of cancer. And they're doing research into can that be a cure for cancer for some of the mushrooms. So, mushrooms are an odd thing. They can either kill you or help your health. But it's best not to touch any that you see on the floor if you don't know about the mushrooms. In this drawing I've actually fought the urge to spit all over the page because the colours actually blend in well compared to the other sets of markers, but for the soil I did use brown, and unfortunately it bled through to the other page, this new marker set, which is a lot wetter and it just blends in better, and then it went all over the side of my hand while trying to ink this mushroom clock creature. So this is the final piece with it, the contrast and brightness altered, and then I added a little bit of shadow digitally. So this is the end result. Thank you for watching. Please do subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my face page for more content, and please do comment below what's your favourite mushroom to either eat or to look at. Thank you for watching.